In the quiet town of Frederick, in northern Colorado, where life unfolded like the script of an ideal small-town tale, a sinister plot was lurking beneath the surface. The story begins not with a police report, but with a friend's visit that would unravel the chilling mystery.
My friend, we were out of town for a business trip this weekend.
Right.
And I dropped her off at 2 o'clock this morning. She's 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't feeling well, and she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9, and I told her to let me know if she needed me to take her. She's got 2 little girls. I've called, I've texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every single day are by the front door.
Shanann Watts, having returned from a business trip, greeted silence as her friend Nicole arrived at her doorstep. Concern haunts Nicole as Shanann fails to answer the door or respond to the calls. Intuition, fueled by an unsettling suspicion, led Nicole to take matters into her own hands, dialing the number that could no longer be ignored, 911. It all started on the morning of August 13, 2018, a day that would carve its mark into the records of true crime history. The mysterious disappearance of Shanann Watts, a 34-year-old lady, is going to revolve around her after her return from a business trip. Disturbingly reported missing by her friend Nicole, the Unraveling investigation kicks off. On the surface, the Watts family embodied the picture-perfect American dream. Chris and Shanann Watts appeared to have it all: a beautiful home, promising careers, and a growing family. But as investigators peel back the layers, the strain within the marriage becomes evident. Shanann and Chris Watts, seemingly living a fairy tale life, were grappling with complexities that belied the charming exterior. Text messages reveal the undercurrents of dissatisfaction, with Shanann expressing her unease about Chris's parents meddling in their lives. As the investigation unfolds, the image of the perfect family begins to distort, revealing a marriage on the verge of collapse. The strains deepen, casting a foreboding shadow over the approaching tragedy. A friend's concern triggers the investigation as the pieces of the puzzle start falling into place. In the initial moments of the investigation, Chris Watts' behavior during the first interview raised red flags. As police arrive at his home, Chris, seemingly unconcerned, displays a lack of urgency. He arrives late, responding to the gravity of the situation with an unsettling calmness. When questioned about his family's disappearance, Chris presents a facade of shock and disbelief.
What time do you leave the day?
What time I leave there?
No, here.
Usually between 5:30 and 6.
Alright. And was Shannon here then?
Yes. Yeah, she's still in bed.
Does she usually watch the kids, or do you have daycare watch them? Or?
She usually watches the kids if they're not at school.
Okay. You guys have any kind of issues, marital issues, or?
We're going through separation.
You are? And how's that going?
It's going
Civil for the most
civil,
part, or?
During the initial investigation by the police officer to find Shanann and her 2 daughters, Chris's attitude becomes a study in contradiction.
All the girls' blankies are gone. Their blankies they sleep with, they don't leave anywhere without them.
Good.
While verbally calm, he exhibits physical restlessness, fluctuating between moments of composure and nervous fidgeting. The uneasiness in his body language becomes evident, especially as he rocks back and forth, an outward exposure of internal discomfort. Even as he speaks of his missing daughters, like Bella, who was about to start kindergarten,
Bella was going to start kindergarten.
He oddly refers to her in the past tense, a disturbing detail that adds another layer to the police's suspicions.
It's like, I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad.
The investigation takes a crucial turn when Chris's neighbor shares surveillance footage capturing the early morning hours of the disappearance.
Yeah, we can pick up cars coming this way. I get anything coming this way and making this turn. So, and usually at night I pick up the cars pulling a U-turn. So, unless they pulled right here, but I would have caught her walking out.
The footage, however, tells a different story than the one Chris had presented. Instead of witnessing Shanann leaving with the girls, The video reveals Chris backing his truck into the garage and carefully loading it with various items. His neighbor notes that
No.
He doesn't look worried. He looks like he's trying to cover his tracks. And if he's loading his stuff, why isn't he walking back and forth? But I can't see what he's doing in the back of the truck because he pulled into the garage. And he knows my camera's there. He never talks. So the fact that he's over here blabbing his mouth makes me kind of suspicious.
Chris Watts submits to a polygraph test taken by investigators in an effort to learn the truth.
Do you understand I will only ask you the questions we have discussed?
Yes.
Regarding Shanann's disappearance, do you intend to answer all of the questions truthfully?
Yes.
Is your first name Christopher?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about?
No.
Did you physically cause Shanann's disappearance?
No.
Were you born in 1985?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever say anything out of anger to a loved one?
No.
Are you lying about the last time you saw Shanann?
No.
Are you now in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Before 2018, have you ever wanted to hurt someone to get even with them?
No.
Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
This portion of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation.
The tension in the room grows visible as the polygraph results reveal betrayal. Confronted by investigators, Chris attempts to maintain his innocence, insisting, "I didn't lie to you on that polygraph." The investigators' firm observation and Chris's physiological responses during the interrogation show a man suffering with the weight of his betrayal. The unclear polygraph test becomes a turning point, pushing investigators to dig deeper into the dark shadows of Chris's life.
But you weren't here today lying about something else. So we need to talk about that, okay?
I cheated on her. And I feel horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant and Scott fell in love with her.
Absolutely.
Okay? I mean, that's God's honest truth.
The darkest revelations emerge when Chris Watts' father, Ronnie, is brought into the investigation.
Anything else you want to tell me? What's going on? Or what happened or anything? You know anything about it?
When we had that conversation that morning, it was emotional and told her about separation and everything like that. I want to protect her.
You don't want to protect her? Huh? She hurt him? Yeah.
The one.
She smelled it? Or choked him?
I didn't hear anything. When I was downstairs, they came back up and they were gone.
Chris, under the watchful eyes of investigators, discloses a chilling narrative. After an emotional fight with Shanann, he claims she murdered their daughters. The shocking twist leaves investigators grappling with the accuracy of Chris's account, setting the stage for a disturbing climax. Chris's narrative evolves further as he confesses to killing Shanann in a fit of rage. The truth, however, takes a more sinister turn as he admits to transporting the dead bodies to a remote site near his workplace. The cold calculation and lack of remorse in Chris's retelling of these horrific events send shockwaves through both investigators and the community, challenging the boundaries of human comprehension. Behind prison walls, Chris Watts unravels even more disturbing details of the killings.
The girls are still in the truck.
Okay.
Did they ask you what you were doing, taking mommy out, or?
Yeah, I don't remember what I told them, but they did ask that.
What they say specifically?
It was more of like, what are you doing to mommy?
Okay. All right. And then the girls, right? Okay. You mentioned Bella was first. Cece was first, okay. Where exactly was she when it happened?
In the back seat.
Okay. Was she just right next to Bella?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so So once again, was it a hand over her face? Was it?
It was a blanket over and my hand.
And then your hand. Okay. And then so that just stopped her from breathing type thing? Okay. Did she struggle at all?
I don't think so, but I was blocking her face and my hand was right here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You had one hand here and one hand over her mouth.
And were you just pushing her against the back of the seat type thing? Okay. What was Bella doing?
Just sitting there next to her. She didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
His choice of strangulation as the method of murdering Shanann exposes the depths of anger and rage that fueled his actions. Watts, lacking empathy, explains how he ruthlessly loaded Shanann's lifeless body into his truck, strapping in his daughters, who sat beside the corpse of their mother. He even confesses that his daughter had been pleading with him, "No, Daddy, don't do that," and that he could still hear her request. After his confession, his pregnant wife Shanann was found buried in a shallow grave in an oil field in eastern Colorado, where Chris worked, and the bodies of his 2 young daughters were found dumped in oil tanks. Chris Watts was sentenced to 3 consecutive and 2 concurrent life terms for the murders of Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, as well as an additional 48 years for illegal abortion and 36 years for tampering with their bodies. The tale of Chris Watts is one of unimaginable horror, a family destroyed by the very person meant to protect them. The revelation of these gruesome details forces society to confront the incomprehensible actions of a man who, once perceived as an ordinary husband and father, became the perpetrator of one of the most heinous crimes in history. The chilling case serves as a sharp reminder that evil can lurk even in the most ordinary places.